Each of the remaining spherical diamond coils were placed via automated manufacturing techniques on top of each other. After each layer was assembled, the coil was radiated with plasma energy to align the inner coils with the solid core singularity. There is a gap between each spherical coil layer, so the layers within each other can spin and rotate infinitely at speeds faster than light without touching each other. The electrogravitics effects are possible because of the natural phenomena best described as the Casimir effect. Essentially, so this is the next page of the book, but in the previous one, because I'm a physicist, I'm a mathematician, I love this stuff. I talk about it, but I kind of like told you what the content of the next page was, but just because I wrote the book, I know it. But the book kind of talks about it in very simple terms for everyone to understand it page by page. And there is obviously a visual that describes it. So, but then again, I just said it, you see, so you have the core, which is 1% of the total weight of the planet, which is this diamond, which is not hollow, it's pure, it's solid diamond. And then you have all these spherical coils of diamond that embed it. And it's spheres within spheres until you get to 10% of the total mass. But because these diamonds are so thin, the film of these filaments is so thin, which is exactly what you want. You want to have it as thin as possible, but because it's so massive and large and it's diamond and it doesn't collapse, it's perfect, it's a sphere, it's hollowed out and it's incredibly resistant, then it's just even better because the thinner, the more Casimir effect it generates, because it faster spins. Because it doesn't have this weight. It has a weight of its own area, of its own volume, if you add it up, metrically speaking, because it's gigantic. It's this thin film of diamond, a filament covering a sphere that's huge and heavy in the middle, solid. And then you have even bigger, and the bigger they get, the thinner they become. So you can have the proportionality of weight moving in the scales of ones and zeros, right? Fractally speaking. So the bigger outer thin sphere coil, the film, is the thinnest of them all. It's the biggest one, and it represents a massive amount of weight because it's huge, but it's the thinnest. But because of the Casimir effect and the vacuum that I just explained, and the levitation and the energy effects of all these spheres spinning to infinity, you have this incredible amount of energy, this bright infinite energy at the core, just generating incredible amounts of energy. This is why when you look at our atmosphere, it's so thin, the layers are so thin, but there's infinite energy in there. Why? Because it's the same effect as the logic. It just expands to the biology of the nature that we created on the surface, which is almost like an invisible layer, but it's there, it exists, and we call it electromagnetic fields of energy, gamma and stuff, which is the layers, which are all artificially created by us. It's technology, it's human technology, and we call it nature. And it's thin, right? The deeper you go into what you call space, outer space, and you start to see our technology on our surface, our planet, the outer layers, they become thinner and thinner and thinner. And this is not a coincidence. This is design, and we did that purposefully because, as I explained, you need to represent the volume at that metric scale. And you do that at infinite rates by the thinner it becomes. It's just a representation of infinity itself. Infinity acts in the most elegant of ways, and it replicates itself in infinite scales. And it does it in spherical ways, spheres within spheres, right? Each one, that's why the electromagnetic field of something is almost invisible, but it isn't. It's there, and it's strong, and it's infinite in energy, but it's thin. So you need special equipment to see it. Sometimes it's not visible to the human eye, unless you're highly evolved and you can see gamma energy and plasma energy, which I can, and so many others can if you stare at the sun, so you can see it. But, it's an evolution stage, which is our technology, so that's why we can see it. Because it's in resonance with our energy field of creation. So you see, so this is the video. And it's essentially that. So it's understanding this logic of spheres within spheres of infinite energy generation, release and storage.